The internet is full of advice and self-help articles. Unfortunately, most of those articles are too short to provide much in the way of actionable advice or recommendations. I've also found a lot of the material on the internet to be of questionable value, and I think that is putting it in the best possible terms. There is also the issue of just talking up his or her book. A lot of websites are simply trying to sell you something, a mutual fund, an ETF, physical gold, investment service/advice, etc. Finally, you have to wonder about the qualifications of some of the internet purveyors, as anyone can write an article for publication or put up a website. I'm not selling anything, I don't have a website, and I think my background and qualifications should give readers some confidence that they, or most anyone, can achieve an early and comfortable retirement. Most people work 90,000 hours in their lifetime, which is 1/3 of the average lifespan, according to a study from Gettysburg College. Want to shave a few hours off that average, cut your time on the 9-to-5 grind short, and get to retirement early so you can spend more time traveling? We talked to a financial educator about early retirement, specifically how to retire at age 55, to shed some light on the subject. As the proverb goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Dane the Doe, a financial wellness educator, tells Travel Plus Leisure of when the best time to start planning for retirement would be. The second best time is today. In other words, it is never too soon to start saving for retirement, especially if you want to retire early. To figure out just how much money you need to save to retire by 55, Doe suggests using a common rule of thumb: take your current salary and multiply it by 10. Keep in mind that this is just a jumping-off point. There are many other factors you'll need to consider. To that end, Doe takes this formula and builds off of it. She offers the following example. If you earn $80,000 per year, the formula states you will need to have access to $800,000 to retire. Now, keep in mind, if you are planning to retire at 55, you will, heaven willing, need to have enough saved for 20 years or more. Using the formula I just shared, that means you will be living on $40,000 per year or half of the salary you were accustomed to, $800,000 over 20 years. For some people, this would not be enough. Or, $40,000 per year may be enough if you choose to retire in a part of the world where the cost of living is lower than you're used to. My suggestion is to use the formula to set a baseline. Then, do research on what it would cost to live the lifestyle you wish to experience in retirement.
Want to make it to retirement even sooner? There are ways to do it, but it means putting in a lot of effort. Doe suggests looking into the FIRE approach. FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The basic solution is to cut expenses drastically and live off of 25 to 50% of your income, Doe explains. With the extra money you have, you invest it into low-fee funds such as index funds. Others can try to accomplish early retirement by creating a successful side hustle business, which could help provide the additional income needed to retire early. Some even approach side hustling with the goal of generating passive income, which effectively creates an additional income stream without too much additional work. Think owning a rental property. However, even if you don't hit a magic number, Doe says there are still ways you can achieve that retirement feeling without giving up work altogether. Her methods could be particularly helpful for those trying to integrate travel more into their life, beginning now, rather than waiting for retirement. At the core of it all, most folks wish to retire early because they want financial freedom. They want to take a year to travel, explore an artistic outlet, or to devote their time to philanthropy. All of these experiences can be achieved without retiring in the traditional sense. To retire young, you must learn how to be your own retirement financial planner. If this sounds like a big undertaking, don't worry. It's not. By following these 8 easy steps for retiring early, I can guarantee that you'll put yourself on the path to living a prosperous life in your later years. The first step you need to take is to determine what kind of lifestyle you want. You won't know how to save for retirement until you determine exactly how much money you'd like to have when you retire. This step forms the baseline for your entire retirement plan. And the number will be influenced by a variety of different factors. To start, think about how much money you'd need to maintain the lifestyle you have now, which would cover everything from necessary expenses to funds that are set aside for special events, nights out, and vacations. From there, you can decide if you'd like to have more money to play around with once you're no longer part of the workforce. Keep in mind that it's also really important to consider what you'd like the reality of your retired life to look like. Though various experts recommend retiring with $1 million, you may want to save more if you aren't willing to make certain lifestyle changes.
The second step is to assess your current financial situation. The next step to know how to retire early is knowing how much money you have already set aside in your retirement accounts. Once you determine how much money you currently have, you can estimate how much more money you need to save. Based on your existing budget, create an early retirement plan built around a realistic amount of savings that you'd like to have by the year in which you'd like to retire. To find your number, think back to the lifestyle you'd like to live and keep in mind the amount of money you think you need in order to live comfortably. By taking the time to not only review your current accounts, but also your monthly income and spending habits, you can create smart saving goals to put aside a specific amount of money each month over a certain number of years to slowly get closer to your target savings number. The third step you need to take is to wipe out any debt. One of the biggest roadblocks to early retirement is bad debt. High-interest debt, especially from credit cards, can hinder your ability to save for the future. In fact, many of these cards have interest rates as high as 18%. When you eliminate that extra expense, you can actually be paying yourself that 18% back in savings instead. Therefore, you should do everything in your power to rid yourself of this debt immediately if you wish to retire young. And then you should take the fourth step, which is to educate yourself in investing. If you haven't dipped your toes in investing yet, it's not too late to start. This is a huge untapped learning opportunity for many. Like learning any new skill, it will take time to become fully immersed in the language of investing, but it will help you better understand what is happening with your money. To build your investing knowledge, you can start by talking to friends, family members, or peers who are passionate about investing. In addition, there are some great books, blogs, and online resources available to help you learn how to start investing and master the basics. And if you're worried about how to retire early because you don't have extra money to invest, try cutting down on your spending in other areas to find some extra cash. Even if you're only able to save a little money, you can use those funds to invest for early retirement. Step 5 is to familiarize yourself with the 4% rule. The 4% rule is a standard that you can use to figure out a practical amount of money to withdraw from your retirement account every year. It suggests that 4% of your retirement savings should be withdrawn in the first year of your retirement. Then, each year after, you withdraw the same amount after this number has been adjusted for inflation. In theory, this strategy should make older adults feel more secure about their money lasting for 30 years. However, the effects of inflation on retirement can be more complex than they first seem. The 4% rule may not be realistic if you need your savings to last longer than originally anticipated. In this instance, it might be beneficial to consider lowering your withdrawal rate to 3.5% or 3%. As far as early retirement strategies go, this one can produce some uncertainty. If you calculate what you need for early retirement and determine your withdrawals won't be enough to afford all your expenses, you'll then be forced to shift gears and find a solution that could involve limiting your spending or pushing back your retirement date. Step 6 is to start researching wonderful companies. This step is invaluable in any early retirement plan. Start researching companies that you understand and that have meaning to you. You shouldn't be investing in any company or asset that leaves you puzzled as to where your money is actually going. Most people put their money into the market by buying a mutual fund or stock option, but don't always know what it is they're investing in. They're just hoping the market will go up over time, which is speculation. not investing. Steer clear of this approach. Instead, consider these 4 things to ask yourself as you begin to invest for early retirement.